This is Karen Ranzi of Super Healthy Children, and I am here with Dr. Fred Mushkat, a medical doctor who has been an emergency room specialist for 40 years. And Fred, I would like to ask you right now about what you think what's like the most important, like pressing issue that most people ask when they come to a plant-based diet.
Well, the number one question people ask is, where do you get your protein? We've all had that asked of us, and I'm reminded of somebody at a retreat I went to once who said that he saw a t-shirt where it had a gorilla on it and said, "Do I look like I need more protein?" And following a plant-based diet, there are many pathways to getting adequate protein. The way that I feel is the best way, and the downfall of most people who follow a living foods or a plant-based diet, is not eating enough fresh leafy greens. There's a lot of protein in those foods. We grew up as children, at least in my generation, watching Popeye eat a can of spinach and get stronger from it. It's because spinach has protein in it. And eating a lot of different greens is probably the best way you can get protein into your diet, and it's the best way to answer how do you get your protein. You get it from eating lots of leafy greens.
Yeah, that's the best. And what do you think about all of these protein powders that are pushed today? I wrote an article on the harm of protein powders, which went into a couple of vegan magazines. And I think many people are shocked when they read it because it's a big, very profitable business today. What are your thoughts on the protein powders?
Well, we have a belief in our society that you need to eat lots and lots of protein. So on the planet, Americans eat more protein than any other group of people in the entire world. And we're just obsessed with this whole protein issue. If you eat a plant-based diet and eat enough leafy greens, you'll get adequate protein. You don't need to add supplements. The supplements are expensive, and in excess, they can cause harm. And the number one group that you see this in are in bodybuilders who buy these, you see them at health food stores, these big mega something or other protein jars that they buy, and they eat lots and lots of protein. But if you eat too much protein, the large protein molecules accumulate in your kidneys and can actually damage your kidneys. I've seen bodybuilders become dialysis patients from eating too much protein.
Interesting.
It's just not a good thing for you. You don't need it. It's expensive.
There's also so many ingredients in most of those packages.
You need to
it's
look.
just overwhelming, and you have to digest each one of those substances. So
Absolutely.
Hard on the digestion.
So if you're a grocery shopper and you're eating a plant-based diet and you're eating a raw diet as well, none of the objects that you're buying are going to have labels on them because they're just cabbage or celery or spinach or whatever. But if you do look at protein powders or look at anything else that you're buying, you should look at the label very carefully. Because if you look at protein powders, even if they're pea protein and they're coming from a plant base, if you look at the list of ingredients, there's frequently many things on there that you wouldn't put in your body. If you can't, and people commonly say it's sort of a joke, but if you can't pronounce it, you probably shouldn't be eating it.
Yeah, that's very good advice. Everybody start looking at ingredients on these packages. Great information.
Even some of the so-called raw foods, if they're frozen and they're prepackaged, read the label because you might be surprised what's in there. And if it says, for instance, natural flavorings frequently means that there's MSG in there. These words are created because of government rules about what a label means. And some things you're not even required to put in that you have in your product. And so, for instance, we were talking the other day about Bragg's. And just I don't want to pick on any one brand, but just to say something about that. In their production, MSG is created. But because they didn't add MSG, they don't have to state that the product contains MSG. But it's in there if you test for it.
Yes.
And that's just an example of how testing works and how labeling works. It's all government regulation. And frequently, the issue isn't what's best for the consumer, it's what's best for the seller. The large corporations that manufacture and produce these foods have a greater lobby than you and me to make laws that'll protect us. And so many of these laws are being taken away, as we see, just based on what's best for business and not necessarily best for you to consume or to ingest.
Yes, and you are so right. We can get all the protein we need in leafy greens. Also, sprouts are excellent protein.
I consider sprouts in the leafy greens family.
Yes, yes.
My wife and I together eat about 3 pounds of sunflower sprouts a week.
Ooh, I love those.
We're crazy about them.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Fred.
You're welcome.